7. Downsides to relentless self-betterment. Are we truly improving ourselves, or are we unknowingly chiseling away at our self-worth? Imagine the relentless pursuit of perfection, where every flaw is a mark against our worth, and each achievement is never quite enough. In our journey to betterment, do we risk losing the very essence of who we are? Dive into the depths of introspection as we question whether our quest for personal growth uplifts us or subtly erodes our core identity. But before we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Your support goes a long way. Sense of never being good enough. So, when you're talking about personal growth, it's like finding that sweet spot, you know? Striving to be better and all is awesome, but you gotta watch out for going overboard. Because if you're constantly nitpicking yourself, feeling like you're never doing enough, it can really take a toll. When you get too caught up in this self-improvement frenzy, it can seriously stress you out and make you doubt your worth. Progress isn't always a straight line, right? Taking it slow, celebrating the little wins, and leaning on your peeps for support can help you keep a chill vibe about this whole personal growth journey. But hey, let's not forget, working on yourself is super important for reaching your full potential and living your best life. It's about growing, learning, and becoming the kick-butt version of yourself you aspire to be. Just gotta remember to cut yourself some slack and not beat yourself up when things don't go as planned. Constant self-criticism. When you're constantly pushing yourself to be better, it's easy to end up setting the bar impossibly high. You know, aiming for those goals that are like reaching for the stars. Great in theory, but maybe not so realistic in practice. And hey, we've all been there. And hey, speaking of setting realistic goals, it's all about aiming for those achievable targets that push you but don't overwhelm you. Breaking down those big dreams into bite-sized, manageable steps can make the journey a whole lot smoother and less daunting. Remember, progress is progress, no matter how small those steps may seem. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Your support goes a long way. Constant self-criticism. When you're constantly pushing yourself to be better, it's easy to end up setting the bar impossibly high. You know, aiming for those goals that are like reaching for the stars. Great in theory, but maybe not so realistic in practice. And hey, we've all been there. But here's the thing. When you keep striving for these superhuman standards, it can start playing tricks on your mind. Instead of patting yourself on the back for all your wins, you might find yourself stuck in a loop of feeling like you're just not cutting it, no matter what you do. It's like this never-ending cycle of feeling like you're always falling short. All that pressure to be perfect can really mess with your self-esteem. It's like you're constantly chasing this elusive idea of what good enough is, without ever really feeling like you've made it. And that's a tough place to be in for sure. So, maybe it's time to cut yourself some slack. Celebrate your wins, big or small, without holding yourself to these crazy high standards. Because at the end of the day, it's about progress, not perfection. And finding that balance between self-improvement and self-acceptance, now that's where the real magic happens. Increased stress. When you're all gung-ho about leveling up and being your best self, stress just waltzes in like an uninvited party crasher. Imagine this. You're aiming high with goals on one end, dealing with daily grind on the other, and suddenly you're juggling a dozen things at once. Talk about feeling swamped, right? And here's the kicker. The need to always ace it, to never slip up, can really crank up the stress levels. Picture that constant worry about not measuring up, about falling short of your own sky-high standards. It's like being stuck in a loop of anxiety that just keeps on stacking up, weighing on both your mind and body. This stress is no picnic. It sneaks into every nook and cranny, messing with your thoughts, emotions, and even how your body operates. The more you let it run the show, the more it messes with your mental and physical well-being. So, as you cruise through the self-improvement journey, remember to go easy on yourself. It's all about finding that sweet spot where growth and balance meet, where chasing improvement doesn't mean sacrificing your peace of mind. Because hey, taking care of yourself is just as vital as chasing those goals. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Your support goes a long way. Diminished self-esteem. What happens to you when your self-esteem takes a bit of a hit? It's like having a gloomy cloud over your head, making you doubt yourself and your abilities. Picture this. Your self-esteem, which is like the fuel for your confidence, starts feeling a bit wobbly. Maybe it's because of some rough patches, criticism, or scrolling through everyone's highlight reels on social media. All these things can nudge how you see yourself, leaving you feeling a tad less awesome than you truly are. When that self-esteem takes a nosedive, it can color everything in your life, from how you talk to others to the choices you make. Low self-esteem can warp your view of yourself. It's almost like someone put on glasses that only show the negatives, blurring out all your amazing strengths. Here's the scoop. Self-esteem isn't set in stone. Just as it can dip, it can totally rise up again. It's all about giving yourself props for your strengths, being gentle with yourself, and working on seeing yourself in a more positive light. Remember, you're way more amazing than you might give yourself credit for. Strained relationships. So, diving into personal growth full throttle can sometimes put a strain on our relationships. Picture this. You're all about self-improvement, setting goals, and hustling to be the best version of yourself. But in the process, you might unknowingly start neglecting your social circle. It's like getting so caught up in leveling up that you forget to nurture those important connections with the people in your life. You might find yourself prioritizing personal goals over hanging out with loved ones, which can create a sense of distance and neglect in relationships. And here's the deal. This could make your family and friends feel a bit left out or undervalued. They might sense that you're not as present as before, sparking feelings of loneliness or being sidelined. We all need that human connection, you know? So, when personal goals overshadow the time spent with loved ones, it can throw a curveball into the mix. Finding a balance between personal growth and bonding with those who matter is key. It's about finding that groove where you can grow personally while still cherishing your relationships. Remember, growth is awesome, but the connections we have with others are truly priceless. Perfectionism diving headfirst into self-improvement can sometimes drag us into the realm of perfectionism. Imagine this. You're all about bettering yourself, setting the bar sky high not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. It's like you've got this mental checklist of insanely high standards, and when things don't quite hit the mark, which, let's face it, happens because we're all human, frustration and disappointment start knocking on your door. This kind of pressure cooker situation can turn your world into one big ball of stress and judgment. Picture this. You're chasing perfection, expecting nothing but flawless outcomes, and when reality doesn't match up, it's like a one-way ticket to disappointment city. And let's be real, living in a constant state of not good enough can really mess with your vibe. So, here's the lowdown. While striving for better is awesome, remember that perfection is a myth. It's all about finding that middle ground where you push yourself without drowning in impossible expectations. Because at the end of the day, a little self-love and acceptance go a long way in creating a happier, healthier environment for yourself and those around you. Loss of enjoyment. When you're in that hustle mode to level up, sometimes all that pressure to improve can suck the fun right out of things. Picture this. You're laser-focused on hitting those goals, and in the process, you end up missing out on simply enjoying the ride and soaking in the here and now. It's like being so fixated on the end result that you forget to relish the journey itself. The little victories, the learning curves, the moments that make life vibrant. When all you see is the target, it's easy to lose sight of the joy that comes from the process. And here's the kicker. This hyper-focus on achievement over experience can turn life into a giant stress ball. You're constantly chasing the next big thing, but somehow, the satisfaction and fulfillment you're seeking always seem just out of reach. But hey, here's a reminder. It's okay to slow down, breathe, and savor the steps along the way. Embracing the process, finding joy in the little victories, and being present in each moment can make life richer and more meaningful. After all, it's not just about reaching the finish line. It's about enjoying the journey that gets you there. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Your support goes a long way. Balancing personal growth with self-compassion. To avoid the negative impacts of an excessive focus on personal growth, it's important to balance ambition with self-compassion and realistic expectations. Here are some strategies. Setting realistic goals. So, when you're setting goals, it's all about finding that sweet spot between aiming high and not overwhelming yourself. Break down those big dreams into smaller, bite-sized goals that you can tackle one step at a time. It's like building a ladder to success, rung by rung. Practicing self-compassion. Treat yourself like you would your bestie going through a tough time. Give yourself some love and cut yourself some slack. Remember, it's okay to stumble along the way. Be your own cheerleader and celebrate those wins, no matter how tiny they may seem. Celebrating achievements. Take a moment to do your happy dance when you achieve something, no matter how small. Pat yourself on the back and give yourself a high five. Celebrating those victories, big or small, keeps you motivated and feeling good about your progress. Mindfulness and enjoyment. Stay present, my friend. Enjoy the ride of growth and development. It's not just about reaching the finish line, it's about relishing the journey. Take in the sights, sounds, and experiences along the way. Life's about the moments, after all. Seeking balance. Balance is key, like juggling different aspects of your life without dropping the ball. Keep up with personal growth, but also make time for relationships, hobbies, and self-care. It's all about finding that harmony in your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Limiting comparisons. Comparison is the thief of joy, they say. Focus on your own progress and path. Everyone's on their own journey, so no need to measure up against others. Embrace your uniqueness and celebrate your personal growth, no matter how different it may look from someone else's. Embracing imperfection. Let's face it, nobody's perfect. Embrace those quirks, mistakes, and detours along the way. Imperfections are what make us human. Learn from those hiccups, grow from them, and keep moving forward one imperfect step at a time. By blending these chill strategies into your personal growth journey, you're not just leveling up, but doing it with kindness, understanding, and a whole lot of good vibes. So keep on rocking your growth game while treating yourself like the awesome, evolving human that you are. If you appreciate the unique insights shared in this video and want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Your support goes a long way.